Hello world, Shelly here, and I just filmed this entire eye look with the microphone turned off. Hey! So yes, I'm going to attempt to salvage this anyway. We will record a voiceover for the makeup demo part, but I am going to look at the new Urban Decay Jean-Michel Basquiat collab. He's dead, I get it, but I'm going to call it a collab anyway. This is the Gold Griot palette, and I'm going to show you what I think of this palette, how it applies, how I got this look, some swatches, all that good stuff right now. So you've already seen my review of the Basquiat Tenant palette, and I will link that down below if you missed it, but this is the same series, it's the same collection that Urban Decay put together with Jean-Michel Basquiat's estate. And from what I hear, the estate actually contacted Urban Decay to set up this collaboration. So I know that this can be a touchy subject. A lot of people are not happy with this collection. And if you want to know why, just check out my previous video on the Tenant palette. I went through all of it in a nutshell. Basquiat died at the age of 27. He's a Brooklyn-born artist, graffiti artist, and he died of a heroin overdose. So there are a whole bunch of things surrounding, you know, doing a collaboration with a dead man and all this good stuff and his drug use. And so I will leave all of that in the Tenant review. I've already said my piece on all of that. I am glad for this collaboration. I think it's great that they are bringing Jean-Michel's work to a broader audience, those that either maybe were too young to know of his work or just never heard of him before. I think it's great. So I'm going to continue on and enjoy this palette and this collection, and I'll show you guys what I like most. Now, in the packaging, I really love this particular packaging. Of the two eyeshadow palettes, this is my favorite packaging. It's beautiful. I love Basquiat's artwork to begin with. It does have the same little hole on the back of the palette so that you can hang it on your wall as artwork. The palette opens up a little bit differently than the Tenant palette. The Gold Griot palette opens up lengthwise, and you do get a mirror on the inside, and the palette itself, of course, it's nice and sturdy, and it feels almost like canvas artwork, and the coloring is raised sort of like paint on a canvas. It's just a really nice quality build of construction. It comes with a brush as well. I usually don't use these brushes, but it's got the soft blending edge and then a firmer smudging edge. It says Jean-Michel Basquiat on the brush itself, which I really like. I'm just a fan of his work to begin with and of the way this collaboration was put together. I really think it does honor his legacy and his work very beautifully. So let's take a look at some of the swatches of the colors in this palette, and then we'll do a demo and I will show you how I got this eye look. Here we go. These are all swatched on bare skin, no primer. And first up we have Enigma, described as a neutral pale nude matte. Then Levitation, a warm pale nude matte. Not for Sale is a medium sienna matte. Sucker Punch is a warm brown shimmer. Then we've got the next four. We will start with Influence, which is described as a brown satin with gold shimmer. Then we have BK, a gray matte satin. Pseudonym, which is a deep navy matte. And Crown, which is a very metallic yellow gold. Now, since I did not have the microphone on when I started this eye look, I will be doing a voiceover. So first off, I've got Levitation in the crease with a fluffy crease brush. This is a Wayne Goss brush, but you could use any fluffy crease brush that you want. Just using that for a transition. And then I'm going to go in with Influence, and on a flat shadow brush, first I'm tapping that on the lid and then doing the brush strokes to blend it out. I get a little bit less fallout that way, although honestly this palette has very little fallout to speak of. Then I'm going in with Not For Sale with my Sigma E25 and taking that into the crease, and I'm bringing that all the way from the outer corner all the way to the inner corner near my nose to get that full effect of that sort of half circle and just blending. Then I'm going to take Sucker Punch, and I'm using the Makeup Geek Outer V brush just to put this in my Outer V, or Outer 7 as Nisha on Sugar Puff and Fluff likes to call it. I like the idea of a 7, it kind of helps lift the eye a little bit, and using that shape is helpful, especially if you've got hooded lids. Now I'm using a Morphe brush, I can't remember which number, but there's no product on this brush. I am just using this to blend out the edges and make sure everything is smooth and blended. Next, I'm using Pseudonym on that same Makeup Geek brush to darken out the outer third of the eye just a little bit. And then I'm taking that into the crease a tiny bit as well, just to darken things up. Sucker Punch again on a flat shadow brush, and I'm going to bring this in almost to the halfway mark. I just felt like I wanted to get a little bit darker and a little bit darker with this look, and I really like how it worked. On the lower lash line, I'm going in, this is that bluish shade again, the Pseudonym, the Deep Navy Matte, and that's a Wayne Goss brush, but you could use any pencil brush. And then I'm going back in with Influence in the center, and bringing that all along the lower lash line to about the middle of the eye and blending it into the navy. Oh, that was Sucker Punch, sorry. Now I'm going in with Influence and taking that into the inner corner of the eye and just sort of trying to blend them together over, you know, so they kind of gradient effect. And this is just another Sigma E25, no product, just to smoke it out a little tiny bit. Then I am using the Enigma shade as a brow bone highlight. It's not a very highlighting shade on me and probably won't be on you, but there you have it. Here's the finished look. I hope you have enjoyed this review. I love this collab. I love this palette. I think the shadow quality is great. I had no troubles with any of them. Give me a thumbs up, and I will see you again in a future video. Thanks for hanging out and geeking out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time. Have yourselves an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world, and take care of each other. Bye-bye.